people. So I want to talk about going from, being just a company driver like me to becoming a full-on owner operator. And this is a really big topic. I touched on it a few times. I touched on it like what, almost like 2 years ago now. And that's when the market was really in the shitter. It's still in the shitter, but right now is the best time to buy equipment. It's probably not the best time to be an owner operator. I'm talking about, trucking right here. If you buy equipment right now, since we're in a trucking recession and the economy itself is in a recession, you're going to get a really good deal on equipment right now. You're going to get a really good deal on equipment. Um, so, being that right now you're going to get a good deal on equipment, what's up? What's up? When the market turns around, as it always does, right? It might take some time. We're probably in like another 2008 without the housing crash. When the market turns around, when the economy turns around, the trucking economy, the freight economy, it's probably going to turn around before the actual economy turns around. So when the economy turns around and the trucking market is already doing better, which we're seeing the correction right now. What's going on right now is a lot of people are getting out of trucking. There's people that are getting their CDLs and becoming company drivers. But as far as the owner operator side, people that are wanting to start a trucking company, those people, a lot of them are going out of business, the owner operators, because the cost of business is so high right now. And well, when you really think about it, a lot of these people shot themselves in the foot. A lot of these people got in to the industry around 2020 and 2021 when the freight rates were really good, when we were in lockdown. And even in 2021, places like California were still in lockdown, right? California was, they were damn near in lockdown for a whole year, right? So the freight rates were really good. I was living in Las Vegas at the time of the pandemic, and I lived in North Las Vegas. I lived around a lot of the truck stops. I lived around Pilot Flying J, and there was a little smaller but big truck stop on Cheyenne, right off of the 95. And I would pick up these truck drivers. I would pick them up when I was an Uber driver, and I talked about, man, you know, I I want to be a truck driver. I mean, you guys make a lot of money, right? Company drivers and owner operators. I was mainly picking up owner operators, and a lot of the owner operators, like most of them, they told me like right away, like you need to go independent. If you come into trucking and you get your CDL, don't be a company driver. Be an owner operator. You're gonna make so much money, right? And they pretty much told me, like, if I were to find out what these trucking companies are getting paid for these loads versus what they're paying the drivers, it makes no sense to be a company driver. You need to go owner operator if you're going to be a truck driver. Now that was back then during the pandemic. Okay, everybody was stuck at home, and people were at the house, and they were ordering all this shit online. Amazon, I think they made close to like, I wouldn't say a trillion, but a couple $1 billion in the pandemic because people were ordering everything from Amazon and everything online, right? People were at the house going grocery shopping and ordering everything online. So the ports, the containers, the freight within the country, everything was just going through the roof. Like there wasn't enough truck drivers to keep up with the demand because this was a time that we were on lockdown. The country's never been on a lockdown before, right? So you had all these people, the owner operators that were already in trucking, the word was going around that these guys were making so much money in trucking. And you had everyone, getting all these loans from the government and shit. And people who had money, they said, well, seems like trucking is the way to go right now. Those truck drivers are making 4 or 5 4 or 5, $6 a mile. Yeah, and they're going like from here, from Nevada or California, LA to Florida, or LA to New York. Whereas let's let's just, you know, let's get a calculation going right now. Where's my calculator? So let me just search it up. Calculator. Okay. So say we're doing $4 a mile, right? We're gonna, put an example out there of how much money people were making in trucking during the lockdown, and why there's so many owner operators right now, and why so many of the owner operators are failing and getting out of the business right now. I was bringing home 10K from California to Connecticut. Fuck. See, you see what I mean? During the lockdown, a week, dude. And there's people that are making more than that, right? How many miles is Los Angeles to New York? 2,445 miles. Okay. So let's do 2,000, clear that. 2,445 miles times $4. Look at that. Look at that. $9,780. And especially if you were getting a direct customer, you could probably get more than $4 a mile. $4 a mile is what the brokers were paying. The brokers were paying truckers $4 a mile, $5 a mile, and they were still getting a good, pretty cut of that, the brokers, right? Load brokers are pretty much like stock brokers, Is that what it is? I could have just said that completely wrong, right? People who sell stocks on Wall Street, load brokers, they sell loads to truck drivers, right? Just like real estate brokers sell homes to home buyers. So how many days does it take to drive from Los Angeles to New York? Los Angeles to New York, 41 hours, 4 days, right? Yeah, about 4 days to go. So that's 1 week. Yeah, okay. So what? 4 days, 4, 8. You could, what's that? 10,000 for 8, 20. You could bring home like $25,000 in 2 weeks driving from Los Angeles to New York City during the pandemic. So what happened was you had everyone that was jumping at the opportunity to become a truck driver and become an owner operator. Not a company driver. People were becoming owner operators. Even people who had no experience driving a semi truck. You're thinking about becoming an owner op? It's floating my mind. It is. And I'll tell you why it's floating my mind. And if I'll tell you how I would only become an owner operator. Okay. So after the pandemic, things went back to normal. People went back outside. The lockdowns ended. People went back to work. You know, society stabilized. Things went back to normal, which means people weren't in the house ordering all this stuff like crazy, right? They weren't getting these stimulus checks like crazy, right? They weren't working from home like crazy. I mean, yeah, people were still working from home, but all this means is that, okay, now since we're out of lockdown, we got all these truck drivers, right? All these new truck drivers, all these new owner operators and company drivers, but mainly we're talking about the owner operators. We got all these truck drivers, but the loads aren't there anymore like they were during the pandemic. So that what happens? You have a lot of supply, right? But not a lot of demand. The demand, was outpacing the supply of truck drivers during the lockdown, because that was just an odd time to be alive, right? So now what's going on is people are moving freight for $1 a mile, $1.15 a mile, versus $4, $5, $6 a mile back in 2020 and 2021 even when we were coming out of lockdown, right? 2021, even like in the middle of 2021 compared to now, the rates were a lot better back then, right? People were making way more money as an owner operator. So now you cannot make money. You know what's so crazy about people moving freight right now for $1 a mile? That's about how much Uber drivers were getting paid in San Francisco, right? Because operating a car in San Francisco, they were getting like, I think when Uber first dropped, they were getting like close to $2 a mile. Then it went down to like $1.75. And then once it went down to $1.15, that's when the Uber drivers started complaining. A lot of them started going out of business. And a lot of these guys were ex taxi cab drivers who had their own like taxi cab fleets. Okay. I'm from the Bay Area, dude. I remember when all this went down. Travis Kalanick, the original CEO of Uber, he got into it with the Uber driver who pretty much said, dude, you cut the rate so much for us that I went bankrupt because of your dumbass, right? And they got into it, and Travis was all drunk or whatever, and it was just a shit show, right? After that, not too long after that, he stepped down from being a CEO. That guy was like the real Wolf of Wall Street, the CEO of Uber, Travis Kalanick. So think of this, right? And now Uber drivers, some of them are getting about the same cents per mile that company truck drivers get, believe it or not. So Alex, don't say no stupid shit like that. I don't know what Alex got caught up with, and I'm not talking about that right now. So there's in certain markets throughout the country, some Uber drivers are getting paid about the same, if not a little less than what company truck drivers are getting right now. But back then, you had people driving cars. Just think of how crazy this is. This was 2013, 2014, 2012, right? In San Francisco, you had Uber drivers that were moving, that were being an Uber driver in their car for $1.25 a mile, right? In a car. And look at this big ass semi truck, dude. Look at this thing. This thing is massive, right? I'm in the sleeper right now. It's dark, so you can't really see too much. So the cost of operating a car, you could get away with it at $1.25 a mile. You can and still make a good profit, especially if you put in that work and save up for your next car, because you're gonna destroy the car, right? The thing about a semi truck is they're built a little bit more tough, so they last longer than a car as far as the miles goes, right? A car will start to break down around 200, 250,000 miles. If you can get 300,000 miles out of an internal combustion engine car, a sedan or an SUV, that's a good make, right? It looks something like a Toyota, right? A semi truck, though, to change a tire on a semi truck, dude, I saw this when I was at CR England, like $400 or $500 for one tire. If you got to change a set of duals, that could be $800 to $1,000 right there, right there. And you got truck drivers that are moving a tractor and a trailer, a 80,000 pound unit, a death machine, just this huge gas hog diesel engine for $1.15, $1.25 a mile. That's why a lot of them are going out of business. So right now, what Tommy Unfiltered, Trucking Unfiltered, he bought, I'm willing to bet he got a really good deal on his equipment. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten something with as many miles as he got. Trucking Unfiltered is another YouTube channel. He he bought a truck. I think he said it has over 1 million miles, but he got a killer deal, and he got a trailer. He got a reefer, which is good. If you're going to become an owner operator, and you're going to do van, you might as well get a reefer. That way you could do refrigerated loads and make sure the engine works. That way you could do refrigerated loads and dry van, both in a reefer, right? Right now, everyone's selling off their equipment because they're going out of business because people bought their equipment during the pandemic when they were making so much money. Because they were making so much money, right? So now, you know, they bought a truck, for example, say they bought a truck for $100,000. Say they bought a Freightliner Cascadia for $100,000. You could get that same Freightliner Cascadia, especially if it has a manual transmission. You could probably get it for like 40 G's right now. What they were charging $100,000 for that same truck, you could probably get it for $35,000 right now. You could probably get, I've seen some trailers go for like $8,000, right? Like dry vans. I've seen some reefers go for like $10,000-$12,000. Thermo Kings, right? Like used Thermo Kings. Dude, right now is the time to buy equipment. So if you're thinking of becoming an owner operator, I mean, this is the way investing works. You don't buy, in a bull market. You buy in a bear market when things are at the bare bottom. You know what I mean? That's when you buy stocks. That's when you buy real estate, and then you make your capital gains. Right now, since equipment is cheap, if you want to become an owner operator, you should do it now. Now is better than later. So, getting your equipment is the first thing. I'll stay a company driver, way less risk. Yeah, for sure. And I definitely feel you, right? But the only way I would become an owner operator, and why I'm thinking about becoming an owner operator, is because I pretty much have a direct customer on standby, right? A family member. I got a cousin who's a big manager at a steel plant, and he's always telling me, dude, if you get a truck, I'll keep you busy. And, if you get a truck, I'll get you going and I'll get you coming back. He'll get me a load out and a backhaul, right? Or just keep me out. I would have to get a flatbed, and I would get my automatic restriction removed. That way I can get a manual transmission, because manual transmission trucks, from what I see, they're a lot cheaper than automatic transmissions. So the only way that you should become an owner operator right now is you buy the equipment now, since it's really cheap, but you have to get a direct customer. Like, you're going to have to get a direct customer before you buy your equipment. You're going to have to get that settled like right away, which is good because it gives you a lot of time to just shop around, and just to not shop around, but go around and make connections with warehouses, businesses around you. Because if you work with load brokers right now, especially with this, goddamn, dude, this video that I just seen on YouTube, right? Let me see. Why truckers' lives just got worse. What the hell? I just watched a video. YouTube Studio. Switch account. Where's my history? Is it in settings? Settings. Where's my watch history, dude? Maybe it's in channel. Channel history. There it is. Okay, yeah. Freight Guard.
Hey guys.
So we'll react to this video right now, right? You cannot do any business with load brokers. None. Like, none, dude. And if you do, if you're an owner operator and you're doing business with a load broker, you haven't put in that extra work to find all around direct customer freight. That's the only way you're going to survive right now. I just watched, after this video, I watched a video by Smart Trucking, and he said, you cannot afford to give any of your profit away to some load broker. Think of it. think of this, right? You guys want to make money? Become a load broker. There's enough there's enough dumb motherfuckers out there that are going to move your cheap freight for $1 a mile in a semi truck. That is nuts. They're going to go out of business and you're going to get the next sucker to do it, right? If you become an owner operator, do not ever work with load brokers, right? I get why people want to become owner operators. People want to become owner operators because they're going after something bigger than what any company driver will ever get. A company driver is, if the owner operator is successful with what not all of their ultimate goal is, but what the dominant end goal of an owner operator out there as a truck driver, the dominant goal is to start a trucking company that ends up becoming as big as like CR England or Swift. Because CR England, Swift, CRST, Prime, JB Hunt, all these big trucking companies, they all started from a small mom and pop owner operator operation. They did. And then they just grew their business and made all these like relationships with direct customer freight. And if they do load broker, they're their own broker, right? They have direct customers. This is why when you go and work at Night Transportation, Swift, CR England, you could choose. You can go work for CR England and go on the Walmart account, on the Dollar General account, on the Family Dollar account, on the General Pacific account, the flatbed account. Those are their direct customers. They're a trucking company. They're not just an owner operator. The reason why owner operators are failing right now, number one, is because they bought their equipment at the height of the market. They bought their equipment in the freight bull market when everyone was making money. And everyone's making money. That means the price of the truck goes up. The price of the flatbed and the trailer and all that, it goes up. So you're paying top tier price for your equipment. Right now, since we're in a bear market in the trucking industry, for owner operators, now is the time to buy equipment. When things turn around and we start seeing like $2, $2.75 a mile, you bought your equipment for so cheap. When it goes back up to $2 a mile, which it will, the cost of equipment's going to go up too. And you're going to wish that you would have bought a truck right now, because then you're going to become an owner operator. When you see, oh, the rates are going up. Owner operators are making hella money now. Oh, look, this guy's making $12,000 a week as an owner operator. After his expenses, he's keeping $8,000 a week. That beats my job. That beats my company job, even with my benefits. That definitely beats my job. Now I'm going to become an owner operator since it's safe to do so, since everyone's making money. You know what you're going to do? You're going to overpay for the price of your equipment. Right now is the time to buy. If you're going to become an owner operator, do it now. Do it now, dude. Right? Say your credit's fucked up and say you get a high interest loan. It'll be better to get a high interest loan on a truck now versus 4 years from now when the market corrects itself, because you're going to get a high interest loan later down the line on a truck that's going to cost you $70,000, $80,000 when you could get it right now for like $35,000. You can get a tractor that cheap right now, dude. So if you're paying high interest, you're still going to be saving money compared to what you'll get later on, right? So one reason why you shouldn't work with load brokers, I just found this out, dude. There's a thing called Freight Guard. So we all know what a DAC report is. A DAC report is something that I have and all truck drivers have, right? A DAC report is pretty much your work history, your reputation as a truck driver. If you go to CR England or Swift and you're like a dickhead to the dispatchers, I work with some guys at CR England. I'm thinking about one guy right now. He was a good dude. He was funny as fuck. He would straight cuss out the dispatchers, when he wouldn't get his way. He would cuss out the DM. This dude was gangster. He didn't give a fuck, right? That's going on his DAC report when he leaves that company. I think he's still there, right? But if he does leave that company, They're going to put on on his DAC report, drive a check report, that he was a problematic driver at the company. So watch out. So he might not get a good job after that, or you know what I mean. Freight guard is the same way. So say going to trust straight out of the door. So freight guard is another way to do it, right? I mean, freight guard is another like DAC report for owner operators. You get your carrier number and all that, you get all your permits and all that shit, right? And you're an owner operator, you got your tractor and trailer, and you're looking for loads and you're working with a load broker. Now, say you come across a fucked up load broker and hook or crook, something goes wrong, right? When you work with load brokers, just like way worse than a trucking company, matter of fact, anything that goes wrong with the load, it's your fault. If the load broker fucked up and gave you the wrong load, it's your fault. They're never going to take accountability. Never. It's always the truck driver's fault. And say you guys get into it, right? And they get mad or whatever. What a freight guard carrier 411 is, it's pretty much you got a bad freight guard report. Your carrier number is pretty much going to have a 1-star rating. It's pretty much going to have a bad review. If you have a bad review, other load brokers are not going to want to work with you. Or when they work with you, they're going to try to give you the lowest amount possible per mile. You see what I'm saying? So before you become an owner operator, you would have to establish two, either one direct customer that's going to keep you busy and that's going to be able to get you a backhaul, or you're going to have to get at least 2 or 3 direct customers, right? Say you're moving agriculture and you could get a direct customer in agriculture. Depending on what crop you're moving throughout the season, you're probably going to have to get at least 4 direct customers so you could run throughout the year, depending on what crop it is or what product it is. Like, say the tomatoes and the almonds in the Central Valley, say they're not in season, right? And you still got, I don't know, like whatever trailer you got. Well, well, you could go from agriculture to moving like chickens around, or moving dirt or mulch or whatever. You get what I'm saying, right? You avoid a load broker at all costs. The people that are going out of business right now, they're going out of business because they're working with load brokers. If you're an owner operator and you're working with load brokers, you're not putting in the work to find direct customer freight. That's the reason why you're working with load brokers. If you put in the time, if you put the time aside and found you 2 or 3 direct customers and you worked with them, you're going to get a higher um, rate per mile. And you're not going to have to, why the fuck are you paying a load broker for? Your equipment is way too expensive for you to be giving money up to a load broker, right? And before I read the comments, I'll say this. People become owner operators for different reasons. One thing you hear is owner operators want the freedom. They want to be able to run when they want, where they want, how they want, and take time off when they want as an owner operator. When you're a company driver, depending on where you work, you can pretty much get all that as a company driver, but you're not going to make the same amount of money that they are. So that's one reason why people become owner operators. Another reason, which I think is the more dominant reason, the more main reason why people mainly become an owner operator, is because they want to get rich. If you establish a trucking company, if you say you start off as a 1 unit tractor trailer, just you, yourself, and you end up buying, say things go good and you get direct customer freight, and you invest in another truck, you hire someone, then you get another truck and another truck and another truck, and in like 5 years from now, it's possible for you to have like 20 or 30 trucks. That's the end goal right there, to the point where you could become like just a straight up like medium-sized carrier and then maybe a mega carrier, right? Or just under a mega carrier. By then, you're making millions of dollars a year. That's something a company driver is never going to see. Never. And the only way you're going to survive is if you get direct customer freight. The reason why mega carriers and medium-sized carriers last throughout a recession, when the economy goes in through a recession, like, the Democrats get in office, we're going into a recession, right? The reason why these mega carriers are able to ride out a recession is because they have good relationships with direct customer freight. If you could get a good relationship with like Costco or Walgreens, CVS, or you get what I'm saying, and you have a good working relationship, you build up a good work history with them as a carrier, you're good. The only time you'll lose freight is if another carrier underbids you. But say they underbid you and they fuck up, right? Say they get into an accident with the trailer and the product. The carrier, I mean, the customer will end up going back to you. Say, you know what? Yeah, he was moving it for 25 cents or 50 cents cheaper than you, but he wrecked our load. You know what I'm saying? So they'll go back to you, right? Another way, another thing to think about when becoming an owner operator, another thing to think about, I would try to run dedicated. I know people want to make money on OTR because they could get a longer distance, so they make more money per mile, whatever. Or you get what I'm saying. Like, say you're getting $1.75 per mile from Vegas to LA. The problem with that is you got to drive across the country. You're going to be going across different terrain, different weather, especially throughout the year. Weather, right there, you have to take that into accountability. I mean, you have to take that into account. Weather can put you out of business. It could definitely affect your the production of your truck. You got to go through Colorado Rockies. You got to go through Donner in the winter. You're losing money because of that route. What I would do, I would get a direct customer that runs freight in an area where the weather isn't so crazy. I wouldn't be running through Wyoming. I wouldn't be running through like DC, right? Like somewhere fucked up like that, where you could run into a lot of low clearances, where there's in the winter there's just crazy black ice and crazy snow blizzards and like going through Tornado Alley like Oklahoma and all that. I would find 3 or 4 customers from like the Bay, LA, New Mexico. Like a good route would be from San Francisco to Los Angeles, from Los Angeles to El Paso, Texas, or Laredo, Texas, back to LA or Arizona, then from Arizona to LA, then back up to San Francisco. You do that, you're going to be running in an area where the weather isn't too bad, even in the winter, right? The worst you're going to have to do is what? Go through the San Bernardino Mountains in the winter. That's a lot better than going through Donner in the winter. Going through Tehachapi is a lot better than going through Donner in the winter, right? So if you think about it in depth like that, the reason why people fail at becoming owner operators is because they're not thinking all this shit through. They're thinking, I'm just going to get my permits. I'm going to get my carrier license number or whatever it is. I'm going to get my truck. And a lot of people are worried about getting a really nice truck. You know what I'm saying? It's all about money, dude. You buy the nice truck later. I mean, if you think about it like that, right? If you can get 3 or 4 direct customers or 2 direct customers in an area where the weather is pretty decent, and yeah, you're not going a long distance like that, but as long as they could keep you busy and they could keep your truck moving in that same area, me on my job on this dedicated account, I could get the same miles in on my dedicated route that an OTR driver gets. The only difference is I'm running my same route. I'm running up and down 101, up and down 101, 101 to the 5, you know, back to 580 to do my trailer swap and Tracy and go back up 101. As long as I keep my truck moving, I could put in the same amount of work as someone on OTR. The same thing as an owner operator. And the thing about it is you being an owner operator in a place where the weather is better, where it's not so crazy, is you're not being an owner operator going through Wyoming, going through Donner in the winter, going through the Colorado Rockies, going through Florida in fucking hurricane season. All of that besides the fact that you could get into an accident, and like die, you know, like that's the worst case scenario. Worse than that is that weather costs you money. You know what I'm saying? So there's ways of becoming an owner operator, right? Just people don't think it through, and that's why a lot of them are going out of business. Let me read some of these comments. You could take time off, company. I work 1099, switching from GP transportation. Love them, the best company, but this company I'll drive 67 CPM, 1099. Okay, 6 days and 3 days off. Dude, all these days off y'all be talking about, those days off, all they're doing is costing you money, taking all those days off. I don't know if you got kids or whatever. I went through that too. I was always preaching about a work-life balance. I had a work-life balance, and I didn't have any money. What got me is when I started truck driving was the shock. Of how much time that I'm going to be spending in the truck to make my money, and that this is the career path that I chose. And yeah, I could start over again, and I could go to a union hall and become like an apprentice carpenter, apprentice plumber, or whatever, and I'll be starting off at the bottom. But I think I got hit with the sunk cost fallacy. I was like, you know what? I spent 3 years with my CDL driving for a trucking company. I could go into a different line of work and start at the bottom, or I could stay in trucking and I get myself a good trucking job because I already got the experience, right? This job that I got right now, this is the highest cents per mile that I've ever gotten. At England, I started off at 50, then it bumped up to 52. When I was at Night Transportation, it was like 58. Yeah, no, it was 58 because I was on the port account, but I was on port getting port 58 cents per mile, but running OTR. OTR drivers that start at night, they start off at 55 cents a mile, right? Right here, I'm getting 65 cents per mile, and I'm on a dedicated account. And I could just keep running. I could run hella hard. This week, I've been going pretty. Lately, I've just been running like 8-9 hours a day, and that's pretty much it, right? 7.5, 8-9 hours a day is what I've been doing. But if I wanted to run my full clock, I could, and it'd be at 65 cents a mile. I make pretty good money here. I worked what did I work? 2, 3, 4. I worked 4 days, and I still brought home $1,200 for 4 days. That's not bad, and that was net. That was after tax, dude. Not bad at all. If I work 7, I bring home like what, 15, 16, 1,700 right here. It's not bad for just driving the truck on a no-touch freight account, just doing live unloads and dropping hooks. It's really not bad at all, dude. It isn't that easy, brother. A single truck OP is competing with thousands of trucks and capacity. Direct customers usually won't even look at you. They want capacity. I mean, no, it depends. It depends. Yeah, if you're, and then again, that's not even true. That's not true, dude. At the store that I go to, at Costco, every now and then, I see owner operators right there at these different Costco's that I go to. It's not always us. It's not always JB Hunt. Sometimes there's a small owner operator truck there, and I've seen the same thing at Walmart when I was working at CR England. Every now and then, I would pull in around back to the dock, and there'd be a small owner operator getting unloaded at Walmart. Right? They're not always looking for capacity, dude. If you could get them their freight, yeah, sometimes they are, but you can't sit here and say that all um, shippers and receivers, all customers are looking for capacity. That's just not the truth. Different businesses have different needs, and different businesses will work with you. They will. Not all of them are going to want to just work with um, CR England or Swift or Knight or whatever. A lot of them will work with you. It's called negotiating. It's called being a businessman, pretty much, right? And that's one reason why I probably wouldn't want to become an owner operator. I don't deal with any of that shit as a company driver. Being a company driver, it's recession proof. I could get into a job, right? I could I could stay here at JB Hunt until I retire. And at my age, what, 32, going on 33 next year, I'll live through another recession, maybe even two of them, right? And I'll be fine right here at JB Hunt. I could become a veteran over here and, have pull with the company on wherever I want to go, whatever. Or I could go and work for, like Domino's, Little Caesars, a private fleet like that, Walmart or whatever. And while the rest of the country is in a recession and looking for jobs and like struggling financially, me as a company driver, especially a company driver that's okay with being in the sleeper, like a lot of people don't want to. Most people want local work. But me, if I'm okay with just being, in the sleeper, it's recession proof. Being an owner operator is not always recession proof. Say the customer or the manufacturer you're working with, right, that you're leased onto or whatever, you got a contract with. Say their business takes the hit and they're not selling whatever their product is. Well, there goes your customer. You know what I'm saying? So recession can wipe out an owner operator, you know? Come to US Foods. I tried. They weren't hiring. Slide into Roadrunner, SDMs. I think you got a shot. Shitty industry all around. Well, yeah, $1.10 per mile isn't going to cut it, but you got people. You got people doing that shit, dude. David, team drivers suck right now. Rates unless it's private fleet. Seen a truck with literally four motherfuckers in one truck. Yeah, dude, that's how they roll. Those motherfuckers, dude, they get all their cousins or whatever and their in-laws in the truck, and they keep that motherfucker rolling, dude. A lot of them work with load brokers, right? Or they got cousins who are load brokers and shit, and they keep it all in the family. Why don't you just team drive to make the most money till you can afford your own truck, or go half on a truck with someone and team drive? I wouldn't want a team drive. The main reason why I wouldn't want a team drive is because when you team drive, it's hard for me to get sleep. I pretty much don't sleep in a moving truck. The only time I could sleep is when the truck is dark, it's cool, and it's not moving, right? And I got the curtains up, and I got the front curtains and the back curtains for the sleeper. I can't move when the truck's doing all this shit. when we're going over potholes and I'm moving around and I gotta like hold on sometimes when we're going around a curve. I can't do that shit, dude. That means that I'm gonna be driving fatigued. When I was team driving, which I did it right here at JB Hunt for a week too in my training. Sometimes I was driving fatigued, dude, just because I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't sleep. It was impossible for me to get sleep. And I wouldn't want to put my trucking company at risk by me being fatigued because I'm trying to get like these loads done with the team. Not to mention, I got to split that payout with the other team driver instead of me just getting the whole payment. Fuck that, dude. I wouldn't team drive, and I don't encourage you guys to team drive either. Because if you team drive, you're going to be driving fatigued, and that's not a good thing, dude. You can get into an accident like that, and if you drive fatigued, you're pretty much driving drunk. So I've just started at LTO. That's good. They are bro Union La Morada. That's down south, right? That's in Southern California. I'm up north right now. I'm in the Bay Area. They're not hiring out here. Yeah, Ramos, check this out. I get 3,000 for 6 days out. So if I get 24 days on the if I get 24 days on and 10 off, it's a win because I made 10K that month. That's good money. Sit around and wait for Indians to take the cheap freight. Yeah, those are the load brokers. And the reason why they take the cheap freight is because like we all know, they drive hella deep in the truck, right? You are pushing a false narrative, but this is your platform. Be safe. I'm out. What false narrative are you talking about? What false narrative? I said right now is the time to buy equipment because you're going to get it really cheap. Do not work with load brokers because you're going to get fucked over and you're going to lose money. Get direct customers. That's how you'll succeed as an owner operator. It's common sense. Everyone knows that. I don't know what false narrative you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You might not even know what you're talking about. You're just talking. I know owner operator haul. I know owner operators haul all of America's airlines, tires, brakes, and parts out of Tulsa, like $2 a mile. Yeah, you could survive off that. You could survive off $2 a mile, and especially if you're going a long haul on $2 a mile, and you could get a back haul at $2 a mile. Like the best thing to do is to work with the customer that's so busy that you could take the load and then you could pick up returns and come back, right? All for the same 2 cents a mile. Owner operator seems like too much work, not enough pay. Well, it's not enough pay. The reason why they don't get enough pay is because they set it up that way. They set it up to where they're not going to get enough pay. I gotta put some lotion on my hands, dude. I took a shower. My skin's all dry. I don't like having dry skin. Shit hurts, dude. The reason why owner operators don't get paid is because they put themselves in a position to not get paid. They don't go out and find direct customer freight, right? I wouldn't even want to lease on with a carrier. I would want to get the full payout. The full payout, dude. If you lease on with a carrier, like say I get the truck and trailer and I lease on with JB Hunt, which you could do, and I'm hauling JB Hunt's direct customer freight. It's still like I'm working with a load broker because JB Hunt is still taking a piece of my payout. If I cut JB Hunt or anyone, a carrier or a broker or whatever middleman out of the way, and I was just getting the direct payment from the customer, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it, dude. Like say I go and work for a pallet company, a company that makes pallets or recycles pallets, right? And I pull up on them with a flatbed, a tractor trailer, right? And I tell them, hey, what's up? I'll haul it. And they're like, oh, you're not with the broker? I'm like, hell no, I'm not with the broker, dude. What do you need? Right? What's up? That's the way to do it. Right? Because if not, dude, you're probably going to go out of business. Joined UPS at 18. Are you a Class A truck driver, Bill, at UPS? There's companies that pay 85K to 100K solo. What about team drive for 10K more? You can't sleep and got to be with someone all the time. Yeah, fuck team driving. I wouldn't do that shit. Good company driver probably makes as much, if not more, than owner op. Yeah, but that's because a lot of owner operators. I've been getting a lot of this from Tommy Unfiltered, from Trucking Unfiltered. A lot of owner operators are just lazy, right? You got people that are starting a business but thinking like an employee. That's why they go out of business. I can afford to think like an employee because I'm an employee, right? If I get my own like motor carrier number or whatever and I get my equipment, my tractor and trailer, I can't think like an employee no more. I have to think like a businessman because I have insurance, I have maintenance costs, I have fuel. Dude, I got to pay for all my permits. No, dude. No. It's crazy, dude. Like just think of how crazy that is. You're going to put up your money, you're going to put up your credit score, get equipment, and then go to a load broker. Why are you doing that? Because you're not going out and finding your own customers. That's like this. Um, Working with a load broker is a lot like doing this. Say I buy a land where a 7-Eleven is going to go, and I'm going to be a franchise for a 7-Eleven, right? And say, you know, instead of just going to 7-Eleven directly, I go through like a third party franchise company with 7-Eleven. So now 7-Eleven is taking a piece of my profit and this franchise company is taking a piece of my profit. But, the whole time I pretty much had the money and the wherewithal to just go to 7-Eleven directly and just get the full payout from 7-Eleven for for my services, right? Fuck that, dude. That's what it is to be a to be a truck driver, owner operator, and to work with load brokers. You're paying some middleman that you really don't need to pay, that you can't afford to pay, especially with the cost of maintenance right now. You're paying a load broker 10 to 15, sometimes 20% of the load, right? Because they shave it off before they even list it, right? And then they still would try to take another piece of it. And you have to change a tire for $400? Dude, no way. That's why a lot of company drivers make more than owner operators, because a lot of these owner operators put themselves in a position to make less than a company driver. If you're doing it the right way, if you understand that you as an owner operator, you're a business and not just a truck driver, you'll do good because you'll operate like a business. You won't. What kind of business, what kind of business with such a high cost of business would give money to just some asshole sitting at a desk? Why would you do that? Right? When you think about it like that, it's really crazy that you have truck drivers out here even talking to a broker at all, even for a backhaul, dude. That's nuts to me. That's crazy. If you think about it that way, right? I wish I joined UPS at 18. I'm in LTL now. Worked at Omega. Okay. So there's ways of doing it. So Alex Trucker Guy. Can't believe GP Transco replied. Well, yeah, I mean, we were talking about them. They were most likely going to reply and set the record straight about what happened to Alex. People talked about your video at the terminal. Oh, that's cool. I wasn't trying to hate on Alex or anything. It was just, that's a big story that he's no longer at GP Transco. That's a really big story, dude. And like I said, dude, when I was unemployed, my chat, my comments, they were filled with people saying, "Hey, come work with us. Come work over here, apply over there." If he got fired like that, the adult thing to do is to do the same thing for him, right? It's the adult thing. The kid Eddie V, dude, he's so fucking childish, bro. That guy has to be in his 20s. If he's in his 30s operating like that, Jesus Christ, dude. My God. Right? At some point, dude, you have to grow up. I'll stay a company driver, way less risk. I luck out buying my truck late 2019 and everything popped. There you go. Hopefully you got a good deal. Just bought a dry van from Auction Wednesday while hauling Amazon as IC. You're probably making good money. From $6,500. Damn, you're getting $6,500 a load from Amazon? That's for your head haul? How much are you getting for your back haul, dude? See, I wonder how much money you could make just hauling Amazon trailers. I see a lot of owner-operators doing that. If they're getting it directly from Amazon, they're probably getting a good rate, right? They probably are, because the reason why I'm saying they probably are is because a lot of them are doing it. See you. What up? You up late money making that money? You up late making that money? Yeah, I was driving that night. I just got back from the gym. I took a shower at the gym. I'm gonna go to sleep pretty soon. I'm tired, dude. If I was an owner operator, I would do oversized or fuel hauling. Are you half white? No, I'm full Mexican. Listen to this shit. Listen to this. This is why you should never work with load brokers if you're an owner operator, right?
Back to another video. I know that Thursdays are usually reserved for market updates, but this one really made my blood boil, and I decided to put this video out first, and tomorrow on Friday I will have a market update for you. So this one has to do with Carrier 411. You know, those freight guard reports that can absolutely destroy a carrier's reputation and destroy.
This is Trucking Made Successful. This young lady's talking about Freight Guard and Carrier 411.
Business altogether. Well, yeah, there are some developments with Carrier 411, and I would love to hear your guys' reaction to this, because again, this made my blood boil. So let's chat about it. Ready? Let's go.
I can't stand fucking YouTube intros, dude. I can't.
Those of you who might be unfamiliar with what Carrier 411 or a Freight Guard report is, let me give you a very quick rundown. Carrier 411 is a platform that is meant to be used by brokers, which is used kind of like a vetting tool for carriers to make sure that the broker is working with a safe carrier. Now, this platform basically gives a voice to the brokers to leave reviews about the carriers that they have worked with, and also gives them the ability to file a Freight Guard report. Now, a Freight Guard report is basically a warning to other brokers that this carrier is either a scammer or a fraud, or basically is unsafe to work with. Now, on the surface of it, when you hear me talking about it, it doesn't sound like anything crazy. It's just a vetting tool, right? We live in a world which is all about reviews, but there are significant issues with the system. Number one, carriers are not allowed on Carrier 411. If a carrier receives a Freight Guard and tries to call Carrier 411, that number is going to be blocked. You will not be able to talk to anybody at Carrier 411. Number 2, brokers that leave reviews are not vetted for truthfulness when it comes to those reviews. And as Overdrive states, and I quote, Carrier 411 enjoys protections under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act of 1996, which protects online platforms from liability against users' content. So basically, a broker can post a review that is a complete lie about a carrier, and the carrier has no way to remove it except for calling the broker and begging them to take that review down.
See? That's why you should just totally leave them alone. One way that owner-operators can fix trucking is to just completely just forget about brokers, right? You guys want to get rid of brokers? Stop calling them. Just literally stop calling them. If all the owner, if 75% of the truck drivers stopped calling load brokers, it would affect the customers of those brokers, right? It would affect the people, the companies that where those load brokers are getting the loads from, because the loads wouldn't be moved by those brokers. These manufacturers, these companies, these shippers and receivers working with these load brokers, if truck drivers are no longer working with load brokers, these companies are going to realize, hey, I'm not moving my product. I can't keep working with this load broker. Let me go and find an owner operator. Let me go directly to the truck driver, right? Then you wouldn't have to worry about Carrier 411. Oh, dude, this is bullshit right here. But it's only bullshit if you're relying on freight brokers on the spot market. If you're relying on the spot market, on getting your loads from brokers, you're already on the path to failure as an owner operator, because you're giving your money to some asshole that could put a bad review and blackball you from other brokers. But you shouldn't be working with brokers in the first place, right? That's why unions work, power in numbers. Yeah. If I was the owner operator, I would never do oversized fuel hauling. That's where the money's at, though. The money's in oversized and fuel hauling. That's where the money's at. Any specialized niche in trucking, that's really where the money's at. The money is in dry van and reefer if you specialize that. If you focus on just hauling like pallets, right, on your flatbed, that's a niche right there, right? It's flatbed, but it's a product that you're specializing in, and you could build a whole company off of that because you're focusing on just moving this one product, right? When you're hauling this, that, the third, that's dry van and reefer. Ugh, right? No, man. One thing that Tommy Unfiltered said here, the rest of this video is this girl's pretty much talking about how Freight Guard and Carrier 411, how they have lied before about truck drivers, about carriers. They left bad reviews, and if you leave a bad review on a carrier, especially a carrier owner operator that relies on broker freight, that could put them out of business, right? Because no other broker is going to do business with them. They're going to ignore their calls or whatever. You know who this happened to? This happened to Just Trucking. Just Trucking, he got banned from TQL, which is a big carrier or whatever, or some broker company. I think they're, TQL, I think TQL is a broker company. And he got banned from them, which most likely means that he has a bad Freight Guard report. What happened with Just Trucking is a YouTube channel. Go check them out. No idea what you're talking about in regards to owner operators. 100%. Okay, well then inform me, right? Inform me about buying a truck right now in a bear market where you're going to get a good deal on a truck. Tell me that I'm wrong, that working with a load broker is a bad idea compared to just going to the company itself, to just getting direct customer freight, tell me. Like, if I'm wrong, let me know. Let me know, dude. Seriously, I'm willing to learn. If you would tell me, right? Trying too hard to be a successful YouTuber. I did Amazon 1099 before and got paid 30% gross. Working for an owner operator, money was so. Well, yeah, I mean, that's because you were working for the owner operator. RGN flatbread sucks. Oversized load RGN. My friend makes $4K a week. Company driver 1099 out of Chicago. But yeah, I mean, the thing about that though is if he's 1099 company driver, now he has to go get all his own insurance, right? So he's not really making 4K like that. He's not. That's good. I kind of started it by talking to Eddie V, and he made a video. He's 26. Oh yeah, dude. I could tell he's a youngster. The kid Eddie. He's young, you know. You could tell by the comments that he left and how he talks that he's a youngster. So we got to give him some slack. We do. What the hell we look like pouncing on some youngster like that, you know? He's young, dumb, and he's going to have to just live life and learn like the rest of us. I was dumb at 26. That's why unions work. Eddie V is cool, but he's trying hard to be a successful YouTuber. I told him to focus on career first, then worry about YouTube later. Watch that video today. Rogue Trucker, let me know how I'm wrong. So yeah, this is, Freight Guard 411. It only matters if you're working with load brokers. If you're moving direct customer freight, which you should as an owner operator, it doesn't affect you, right? Listen to this. If you guys like hearing stuff about owner operator, about being an owner operator, definitely go subscribe to Trucking Unfiltered. Tommy Unfiltered, he made a trucking channel called Trucking Unfiltered where he just focuses on trucking. His trucking channel is growing way faster than his old channel, than Tommy Unfiltered. I think a lot of that has to do with this time he's focusing on just one specific topic on his YouTube channel, which is trucking. He really likes trucking. A lot of it has to do with him being an owner-operator. I like his commentary. He has a really small channel, but he has the potential to get big if he put a little bit more effort into his thumbnails or whatever. But I want you guys to listen to this, because here's the thing about having your CDL. Having your CDL, especially if you're open to becoming an owner-operator, once you're open and you want to become an owner-operator, that's when the opportunities are endless in trucking when you're an owner-operator. What he said right here, it crossed my mind maybe once when I seen the shit, but it didn't really cross my mind that, you know what, I could be the one hauling that freight. I have a CDL. I could haul that shit. I could do it, right? Hear me out. Listen to this shit. This is He's a Lazy YouTuber reaction by Trucking Unfiltered. What does that comment say? I would agree with Road Trucker. You've never been an owner-operator, but giving feedback like you are. Well, then let me know. Dude. I asked Rogue Trucker how I'm wrong, and he didn't answer me, dude. How am I wrong? It's basic, right? You know what that is? That sounds like these liberals talking about, oh, you're not Native American, so you can't talk about Native American issues. You're not black, so you can't talk about black issues. You're not gay, so you can't talk about gay issues. You're not, Mexican, so you can't talk about Mexican issues. That's what that sounds like. It sounds fucking stupid to me. It does. Okay? You cannot sit here and tell me, even though I'm a company driver and I've never been an owner-operator, I hear enough of these motherfuckers in real life and on YouTube bitching and complaining about load brokers. You're just repeating YouTube videos. It's common sense. It's common sense. And I've met owner operators in real life, dude. So you're telling me that you're okay with working with load brokers? You're telling me you as a businessman, this says a lot about you as a businessman, right? And why you're probably not, and probably why you're not as big as you can be right now. I'm not going to shit on you or whatever. You're going to tell me, for example, let's say Donald Trump was a truck driver. You think Donald Trump would work with a load broker, or you think he would go to the source itself and get the full payout and make all the money for himself? You think Donald Trump, who is known for not paying people that work for him and trying to undercut them and all that, because that's what New York businessmen, tycoons do. That's what elite people like him do, right? That's what big business guys like him do. They try to save money and cut costs at every corner in their business. You're going to tell me Donald Trump would pay a load broker to move a load? Fuck no. He would go to the source and get the full paycheck himself because he's a businessman, dude. So what I'm saying is right now is a better time to buy a truck than the price of a truck that people were paying back in 2020, right? Okay. So right now, trucks are cheaper because owner operators are going out of business. You can get a good deal on equipment right now. Okay. Do not work with load brokers. Try to find direct customer freight. Even if you could cut out a carrier with direct customer freight. If I'm going into business, I want all the money for myself. I don't want to pay no one else other than myself, right? I drive when I pay my rate, and I drive an average of 4K miles per month. Basically, I drive 1 week out of a month. You're lazy. You're lazy. You're lazy, dude. No. You're lazy. That's lazy shit right there, dude. Come on. I drive when I pay my rate, and I drive an average of 4K miles per month. Basically, I drive 1 week out of the month. And what do you do for the rest of the month? You just stay home? Dude. Look, I don't know if you got hella kids or whatever. I don't know if you have a sick family member and you need to be home. I'll correct myself before calling you lazy. But if you want to be home just to be home, right? Lazy. Yeah, I'll correct myself. I don't know your situation. You might have to be home because you have a sick grandparent. You might have a sick parent. You might have a sick child. So you might need to be home. But if you're going into trucking, right? I went through this too. And especially as an owner operator, as a company driver, I could understand it more as a company driver, wanting to have a work-life balance. But if you're an owner operator and you want to work 1 week out of the month and you have no reason to do that other than you just don't want to work, you are lazy. Okay. So, dude, you can't tell me that I'm wrong. You told me that I'm wrong about getting a good deal on a truck right now in a bear market, getting direct customer freight, and then your response is you only work 1 week out of the month. Oh, dude, you got other owner operators out there that are outworking you. Come on, dude. Come on. I wait till truckers really need my service. With 10K per month is enough. If that's enough for you, it's lazy. To me, that's lazy, dude. 10K per month is enough. Dude, if you really put some work into your business, it sounds like, look, answer me this, because before I call you lazy, I want to make sure that you're lazy, because I could be wrong, right? Do you have a sick family member that you're tending to? Do you have a disabled child that you're tending to? Do you have like 4 or 5 kids and you just need to be there to take them to like dance practice and football practice and whatever, you know, because the wife is overwhelmed because you got 5 kids. If you don't, then you're lazy. If you do, then I understand. I understand why you need to be home. But if you're just waiting at the house until someone needs your help, until it gets good enough for you to go out, you could structure your business to where you could be out all month making a bunch of money. You could be making that 10,000. You could be making that 10,000 a week if you set it up right. If you're running hard all week and you have direct customer freight, you could be making like, I'm willing to bet, even right now in this market, you could be making around like 30,000 a month as an owner operator. And then that's how you really scale your business and like grow. Right now, I can't compete with suckers who are hauling for pennies. You're lazy. You're lazy. No, dude, you're lazy. I'm done talking to you, dude. You're lazy. He might just have money right now and don't need work. No, he's lazy. He's lazy, dude. Business is about fucking, you know what I think when I think about business? I think about guys like Trump. I think about assholes who just want to get as much money as they can, dude. Right? There's different type of business people out there. If I was going to put up the money to go into so much debt to buy an expensive asset like a tractor trailer, I'm not going to work 1 week out of the month. You're lazy, dude. I'm going to be out there putting in work, dude. I'm going to be out there trying to, you know, compete with everyone else and outwork everyone else to grow my business, to make money. The whole key, the whole point. I mean, look, I don't know. Maybe you became an owner operator because you're one of those guys that wants to run when you want and go home all the time. And if it works for you, fine. To me, that's lazy, right? Some people want to be lazy and some people want to be a lazy owner operator. That's fine, but you're still lazy, you know? There's nothing wrong with being lazy. It just is what it is, dude. But you can't sit here and tell me that what I'm saying is wrong. It's not. It's just what you're doing is what you're doing. That's all it is, right? You work hard and look at you. At your age, I worked 3 jobs and already bought my house. I work 6 days a week, but I'm still lazy, I admit it. That guy was driving a box truck, delivered Gaylords to the post office a month ago. He isn't a real driver, a trucking expert. Stop putting out bullcrap info. Cite your service of information. What guy are you talking about? A box truck delivering. What guy are you talking about? I don't care what you were doing at my age. You're talking about something completely different. I'm talking about what you said about being an owner operator. You work 1 week out of the month, you're lazy. It is what it is. If you want to be lazy, that's fine, but you're still lazy, right? It is what it is. But I want to put this out there, right? For the replay. I'm going to ignore the chat right now because this is for the replay. I want this message to get out to company drivers. I want you guys to hear this, okay? Hear this because sometimes what happens is when we go to work and we just get set in our schedule, we tend to forget the about the opportunities that our commercial driver's license gives us. We tend to forget about it. We tend to forget just how far this can take us, right? This commercial driver's license, it could put you in a way better position than someone with a college degree, even in a recession right now. Hear me out. I'm going to try to find the spot in this video.
Years to know who they are, to know about their past, to know about their family history, to know about what has happened to them right here on this platform. I know what they did to themselves, okay? I know about the drinking, the excessive drinking. You know, not anymore, but the excessive drinking in the past. I know how it destroyed them. It almost destroyed a lot of other things in their life. It destroyed their YouTube channel.
He's talking about a truck driver that is talking about him but not saying his name. It's a YouTube drama shit, but you know, he's giving this person criticism, but it's advice. All right. A lot of people, you know, when someone is, you know, criticizing us, you can tend to forget that they still might be giving us some advice. I want you guys to hear this, right?
But the reason I don't really harp on that person is because they've shared so much of their past in their life. And also, they've given up a lot of information that they don't know they've given up. Because a lot of us out here could read between the lines. We could see right through the facade, right? So the fact that I have a lot of perspective on this person and they've shared so much perspective about their life, now I know I probably shouldn't pile on. I probably shouldn't bully them, right? So it's good. No, I don't think I overshared about my criminal history because you know about this much of it, right? I'm just trying to help you guys get a better perspective, which takes me on to my next comment. I got a guy saying I look like a steroided out bum.
Let me try to find this.
A thief, right? I forgot all about this one. I'm a lazy thief, right? I'm a lazy YouTuber. And the reason I'm a lazy YouTuber is because I put other people's name in my videos because I'm supposedly clout chasing.
We're getting there. This is closer to what he's going to talk about.
I don't want to work on my own content, right? Is this working on my own content because I didn't mention anybody's name this time? Am I coming up with my own content? Am I being creative on this one? So, because I'm a thief, but I'm lazy. I'm a lazy content creator. Now, my biggest pet peeve is lazy men, okay?
Listen to this part. Really important.
Lazy.
It's really important because pretty much the message right here is don't forget you have a CDL and don't forget that you can really make the most out of this CDL. A lot of you guys say that I would never do this type of trucking. I would never do this type of trucking. Someone just said in the chat right now that they would never do heavy haul. No, dude, that's to me, that's the wrong mentality. Be open to doing that. This CDL could take you so far, dude.
Men. A lazy man is someone who spends 10 years in the same career and doesn't expand his horizons. He doesn't save money, but yet he wants to complain about the industry that he's in every single day of the week. That's lazy to me. Lazy is someone who doesn't improve their skills to the point where they are pulling long, what are they called? What are they called? Wind turbines? If you're 10 years in the game and you don't pull wind turbines, you don't pull RGNs,
yeah,
you don't pull boats or yachts, some other kind of specialty, food grade tanker. What else?
yeah.
Exactly. I'm not going to mention hazmat because not everybody can get a hazmat easily, or not everybody wants to deal with the drama of hazmat. But if you spent 10 years in an industry and you haven't saved any money, you're still chasing fake leases where you're supposedly going to make more money. I mean, I think we've all figured it out that leasing a truck from a carrier is not about making money anymore. It's about supposed freedom.
Dude, I'm pretty sure he's talking about This Guy Trucks. That's what This Guy Trucks does. He does these lease purchase programs with these carriers. That's I would never do a lease purchase program. If I was going to become an owner operator, I wouldn't become a half-ass owner operator, especially for the past 10 years, and then bitch about it, dude. That's so stupid. But some guys out there are just really dumb like that, you know. Some guys like to make poor decisions and bitch about it, but they're the ones that made that decision, right? we all go through ups and downs in life. You know, I tried to go local. It didn't really work out for me. So sometimes what you want to do isn't popping off. So you got to do what you got to do. And, you know, local truck driving, it's just in my market, it's really hard to get a job locally. Right. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just go back to a sleeper. For now, I'll just go back to a sleeper, you know? But think about that. Think about that, right? Someone just said right now, yeah, exactly. You're a slave to the truck when you do a lease. You need to get into a building trade, more opportunity and more money. Wrong. Wrong. Wrong, dude. That's the. See, JJ, if you have a CDL and you're thinking like that, then you go and do that. But what's going to happen is this with your mindset, that's a quitter mindset. If you have a CDL and you're talking about trucking is not worth it, right? I've said that before. One reason why I said that, honestly, what really got me was the shock of it. Was damn, dude, like I'm going to be in this truck a lot, you know, and it bothered me at first. But where I kind of checked myself is when I was unemployed. Being unemployed sucked. When I was unemployed, I was looking at my old vlogs at CR England and I was like, man, I wish I was that guy again. I wish I was back in the sleeper, right? Even though it sucks. And I'm trying to get a job at like US Foods, Cisco, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Southwest Trading or whatever, you know, these local food company jobs, like good ones, you know? In my market in the Bay Area, it's really competitive. There's way more CDL holders than local jobs available, you know? So, you know, trucking, dude, you can make a lot of money as a truck driver. If you're going to come into trucking, get your CDL, stay for a year, and then say, oh, there's no money in this, and you're going to take that same mentality and go into a building trade, like you said, you're going to go and be a carpenter or something, you're most likely going to fail at that. You may or may not get into a union. You know, you could fail getting into a union, you know, you could fuck that up too. Or you'll get into a union and when you're an apprentice, when you're at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't really start making good money like that until about like 3 or 4 years in, when you're getting close to being a journeyman and you got your raises behind you. You know what I'm saying? People who work in the trades that are making six figures, you're not just going to go into the trades and make $100,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year like that. When you start off in the trades, you're going to probably be making like $57,000, $58,000 a year as an apprentice, as you're still learning whatever you're going in for, like plastering, painting, carpentry, electrician, plumbing. When you start, you're not going to be making that much money. But when you start as a truck driver, like I said, dude, what got me was the shock of it. It was like, damn, dude, like, I feel like I'm locked up in this truck, dude. I feel like I'm doing time. But that's the job. That's the job, dude. And that's what got me. But if you're okay with being in the truck and working, you can make more money from the jump as a truck driver than someone who's starting off as a labor plumber, as a labor electrician. From the jump, you'll make more. If you keep the rubber side down, like they say, if you run your ass off, say you start off at Swift and you go Swift OTR, and you're that type of driver that just stays out there and you run your ass off. And then obviously you get on an account at Swift where they have like the highest CPM that you can get. And you got Swift, so you're going to become a mentor. And if, I don't know if Swift is like CR England, but if you can train 2 students at the same time and stay out for like all month and come home like once every 2 months, you know what I'm saying? Like you come home for like 2 or 3 days, once every 2 months. Once a month you come home for like 1 day of a reset, like a day and a half. But then you just stay out in the truck. I'm willing to bet you could pull 85 to 90,000 a year in your first year at Swift. You'll pull in that money. At your second year, you'll make over 100,000 because you're going to have a CPM raise. You're going to be getting residuals from the students that you're training, and you're going to be running hella hard. You know what I'm saying? You'll make a lot of money. You'll make more money as a truck driver than someone in the trades, right? But the thing about this is what makes this trade different than construction, and what probably makes us more mentally tough than people who work in construction, is we don't go home. Our job is our home. Where we make our money is our home. Where we lay our hat is our home. We're literally that rolling stone living in the truck, dude. And we make really good money if we work hard. So by you saying that you need to go into the building trades, there's more opportunities there, you're failing to see the opportunity that you have right in front of you as a truck driver. Listen to what he said, dude. 10 years in the game. He's talking about this guy trucks. How this guy trucks, he made a video bragging about, oh, I ran over 1 million miles OTR or whatever. But Trucking Unfiltered is right. It's like, hold on, dude, you've been in the game for 10 years and you're not an owner-operator hauling wind turbines, doing heavy haul. You're not doing that. You ever see, like, when you're on the road, on the highway, and you see those big police escorts, and they're and they're following behind someone moving these big ass oversized load wind turbines. The owner operator that's moving that is making really good money, on that load, to the point where they have a police escort. They're making so much money on that load. And the person that did that, I'm willing to bet they've been in the game at least 7 to 8, 10 years. And they worked themselves up to that spot. Whether they're 1099 company driver doing it, whether they're a full-on company driver with benefits doing that, or they're an owner-operator. If they're an owner-operator, they're getting, I don't even think, if they're working with a load broker doing a heavy haul like that, that's dumb. If they're getting a direct customer load, hauling wind turbines, and then I think he even said, you're 10 years in the game and you're not hauling jet skis. You're not hauling yachts. Think about that. Mini yachts and yachts, they get moved around by trucks sometimes. We've seen them on the highway. We've seen like those big expensive boats sitting sideways on the back of a truck. You, with the CDL holder, you have so much opportunity with that CDL, right? Don't let it pass you up, dude. Recognize the opportunity that you have. This time around in trucking, now that I got over the shock of, I'm going to be out here and I'm okay with being out there. The reason why I'm okay with being out here as a truck driver and like not going home anymore like that is I just keep remembering the time that I was home looking for local work and I was unemployed and I didn't know where I was going to get my next paycheck, and I had all this work experience, but I wasn't getting in at Pepsi, Cisco, US Foods, because everybody and their mama wants to get in there. And I was at the house competing with all these motherfuckers. When I would go on an interview, the person interviewing me would tell me that he has like 16 other people to interview for this one truck driver position at Cisco. Dude, I wasn't in the position of power. Dude, you have so much opportunity right here in trucking, right? What are you guys talking about? You need to hook up to get a great trucking job. No. Sometimes they could help. But if you have experience and you get your own hookup, you can get a good trucking job. If you're an owner-operator and you're out there putting in the legwork to get good direct customer freight, and you're building up your experience to the point where you're that owner-operator hauling a fucking wind turbine or hauling a yacht with the police escort, you've made it as a truck driver. You're making really good. You cannot tell me. All you guys, talking shit about trucking, you guys cannot tell me when you see these huge oversized load owner operator guys with the police escort, you cannot tell me that they're living a good life. I mean, like, you can't tell me that they're not living a good life. You can't. You just can't. If you're looking at someone moving a wind turbine, moving like really heavy shit on an oversized load, and you look at that and you still got something to say, the problem isn't trucking. The problem's you. You suck at that point. You're failing to realize that, dude, there's a lot of opportunity right here in trucking, I'm purchasing my first truck by next month. Well, a rogue trucker who only works 1 week out of the month, he'll tell you that I'm full of shit. But Smart Trucking, who is a real owner operator right here on YouTube. It doesn't matter if you're getting the information from YouTube or in real life. It's common fucking sense. You said you're getting a new, you're buying a truck next month. You may not be able to do this right away, especially if you're getting it next month. Like if you already paid for it and you're just waiting for it to get shipped to your house or whatever you're doing, or to go pick it up or whatever, right? Try your hardest to get direct customer freight on a head haul and a back haul, right? Try to get the best insurance rate that you can get for the coverage that you need. Make good relationships with these customers that have direct freight for you. Try to get away from load brokers as soon as you can, dude. You do not want to fuck around with load brokers, especially with this freight report or carrier 411 bullshit where they could blackball you if they're a fucked up broker and they could just say some bullshit about your carrier number and put you out of business. We've seen that happen with Just Trucking. He got banned from TQL, right? Best of luck to you, but try your hardest to get direct customer freight and build a good relationship with them. And, being a truck driver, being an owner operator, when I was in construction, when I was working at the lumber yard, we dealt with a lot of general contractors, which are pretty much owner operators in the construction industry, right? I'm willing to bet the way it works with direct customers isn't that different from the way that it works with direct customers in the construction industry. When you're a general contractor, right? This is how it works. You go and do someone's cabinets. You're building up someone's kitchen, right? You're doing a remodeling project in the bathroom or a kitchen of someone's house, especially if you're doing exterior work and the neighbors could see you reinforcing a deck or whatever. You're out there working outside. The neighbors see you. But what does the neighbor do? Especially if you're in an affluent neighborhood where people got money like that. The neighbor will come across the street, see your truck, see you, right? And they know the neighbor, so they know that you're someone that got hired to do work. They'll be like, hey, you do cabinets? Yeah, I'm doing cabinets right now. How much would you charge me to do a set of cabinets in my kitchen? I want new cabinets. Word of mouth. They see you, word of mouth. And I'm willing to bet if you get a good relationship with the direct customer as an owner-operator in the trucking industry, it'll be the same. It'll be the same thing, dude. You'll have a good reference for another direct customer with your main direct customer, right? And then you could just build off of that. So, dude, being an owner operator can be worth it. You can make a lot more money as an owner operator than as a company driver. Even right now, in a down market, right now, you could still do it. It all depends on how you go about operating your business. If you're an owner operator and you're only going to be running the spot market, you're going to fail. You're most likely going to fail because the rates are too low, right? So I wish you the best of luck. We got a total compensation at the end of the year. I was at 150K. That's good. What's up, Ben? 95. Just hit 90 year to date. That's great. What job are you at? That's split. Team, I like my bed. Team, motherfucker. Flies in here, dude. Team are already at 95 cents per mile. Right now I'm making 88 cents per mile cap. And what job you on? What are you doing? I move dry van and make 200K net. Are you an owner operator, Caravan D? If you're a company driver, that's really good money. Yes, sir. Been with Old Dominion, 10 years, strong line haul. Wow, dude, you've been with Old Dominion for 10 years? That's great. Highest paid company driver position, period. LTL. Yeah. Walmart private fleet does pretty good too, right? I'm sure you guys get paid more per hour than Walmart does. I mean, fuck, you said you're going to make over 100,000, so you're probably making more than Walmart. Come on, man, you can't take what this guy Trucks says serious. What this guy Trucks says serious. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can take what this guy Trucks says serious because of a lot of the times this guy Trucks is just bitching about his life, right? You could definitely take that serious. Sometimes he's talking crazy shit, but some of the crazy shit that he's talking is the stress that he has in his life. A lot of it is self-inflicted because this guy Trucks is lazy, right? Yeah, I'm sure he's running hard, but he's doing the same thing, dude. He's doing these stupid ass lease purchase programs, and he's going. You guys think I job hop? That dude gets a new trucking job every few months. That's fucking crazy. He'll probably have like 4, 5, 6 different jobs in a year, dude. That is nuts. I don't know how he keeps getting hired at these places, right? I'm sure he has a clean MVR, but job hopping like that. I mean, the reason why he's probably able to get a job everywhere that he goes is because he's doing lease purchase programs. If he was a company driver and he was going job to job like that, the way that he does, he would blackball himself out of the company driver job market. He would, right? Walmart sucks. We had guys go to Walmart and come back. I ever quit Saya, I'd go to Old Dominion line haul. I say them endorsements is key. If you really want to be local, then get your hazmat. I got my hazmat. I'm telling you, dude, it's just hard to get a job locally out here in the Bay Area, right? We hiring, growing big. Hear what he said one more time. Even you guys that are LTL, right? You think you're making money? LTL? Look, let's look this up. How much do wind turbine truck drivers make? No. How much do wind turbine CDL owner operator truck drivers make? Okay, hiring owner operator, auto parts, lanes up to 3 3.5 a mile. Where'd it go? Let's see. Hold on. How much do oversized Oversized wind turbine loads pay per load. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Wow, look at that, dude. The cost to transport a wind turbine depends on several factors, including the distance of the shipment, the size of the turbine, and the type of transport required. Short haul shipments typically cost between $30,000 and $40,000 per turbine. Long haul shipments can cost over $100,000. Oversized freight shipping cost per mile start at around $2.30, but can increase to over $10 per mile for larger loads. Pilot car costs, depending on the type of pilot car, the load dimensions, and the route, and other factors. Wow. Okay. So that 100 grand. Okay. So what is considered long haul? What is considered long haul? Damn, I gotta go to bed pretty soon, dude. Over 250 miles. Okay. How many miles from Los Angeles to El Paso, Texas? Okay, so that's definitely a long haul right there. How many miles from Los Angeles to Phoenix? Okay, so that's a long haul right there, even though that's a short trip from LA to Phoenix. All right, so let's hear me out. So say a wind turbine company is paying $100,000 on the low end. Let's say they're paying $90,000 to move a wind turbine from LA to Phoenix. Okay. Who's going to get the most of it? Most likely the truck driver at that point. Do pilot cars, depending on how many you need, right? If you're hauling something real crazy, the biggest escort I seen was with CHP. They were on highway, what is that? I forget. The highway that goes through Los Baños. I seen all these CHPs around this truck. The truck was hauling some sort of heavy farm equipment, you know? I don't think it was a wind turbine, it was something real heavy because it was tall too, right? I'm willing to bet, dude, they probably made at least profit on it. And trust me, it was probably short. They probably weren't even going that far. They probably made profit easily 15 grand on a short haul like that, dude. So say, where's the calculator? Oh no, it died. Oh man. Damn. Well, there goes that. What are you guys talking about? Owner op, screw up, you're done. Say make 200K, A-OK, but what about expenses and everything? Oh yeah, I know heavy haul makes way more money. Money talks, I'm from Rialto. Oh yeah. How's the freight in the Bay Area? I'm down here in San Bernardino. I don't know about the freight up here in the Bay. I know the freight is more cracking in LA than the Bay because they have a big port down there. Their port is way bigger than the port of Oakland. It's big enough to get a backhaul. You could get direct customers up here. The freight in the Bay Area isn't all that. Where the freight gets better is around Stockton, is around even Tracy. Once you get closer to like the Central Valley. In the Bay itself, you could find freight, but where you could really find freight is once you get into like Tracy, Stockton, those areas, Lathrop, you know. how much oversized brokers make. Yeah, I mean, just imagine how much you could make without fucking around with the oversized broker. You know, let me. I gotta do this real quick. Okay, let me charge this. I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna get up off here because I gotta go to sleep. I want to put these numbers up for you just to give you guys something to think about, you know? See, we don't think about what we can do with our CDL. Yeah, I mean, doing line haul is good, but dude, you're barely scraping the surface. Really, you are. With line haul, that's good money, but dude. So the craziest police escort that I've seen on a heavy haul truck was through Los Baños. It was going from Highway 5 into Los Baños, right? And they took off the highway right before Los Baños. They went out into some farm area, you know, still on another highway, but the police escort was huge, and what they were hauling was so big, dude. It literally backed me up for about an hour in traffic, right? Easily, they profited 15 grand doing that. Okay. So, and hear me out. They made that 15 grand in one fucking night, dude. In one night, they made 15 grand. Okay. So you can do LA to Phoenix in one day. You can. Even with heavy haul, you can do that in one day and still have some hours left when you get to Phoenix, right? So say they're paying what? Let's start doing some math. Say they're paying $95,000 to move a wind turbine from LA to Phoenix, okay? And you're the truck driver. You're going to get most of it, but you got to pay off the pilot cars, okay? How much is a pilot car going to get? Pilot car, LA to Phoenix, say you got to let's say you got 6 pilot cars, right? 1,000 a day. No, it's going to be more than that, dude. It's going to be way more than that. To move a wind turbine, dude, on long hauls, they could go up to 100,000 moving a wind turbine, especially if it's like a really big. I'm talking about the type of wind turbines that you've seen where like the tractor's here and the second part, like in the other axle, is like all the fuck way in the back. You know what I mean? It's like I'm talking about like the huge shit, the hugest stuff that you see on the freeway. Those wind turbines. That's what Trucking Unfiltered was talking about, right? So check this out. That could easily go from LA to Phoenix. It could go for 95,000, moving a huge wind turbine where the axle is all the way in the back, right? The escorts, they'll probably get, let's say they get 35,000. 95, they probably wouldn't even get that. Get it that government contracts take away 35,000. 60 grand is what you're left with. Your business expense on an oversized truck, right? Or a truck that's permitted to haul oversized freight. Okay? 60 grand after business expenses. Well, let's slash it in half. remember, guys, this is 1 day of work. 1 day. You could bring in, let's say on the low end, 1 day, they bring in $25,000 in 1 day. A heavy haul owner operator. All right. And let's say they're just moving wind turbines from Phoenix to LA, LA to Phoenix, right? Occasionally, they might go from Phoenix to LA, from LA down to San Diego, or LA up to Fresno, and then back down to LA, and then back to Phoenix. Say they work their hours of service, right? What is that? 6 days, right? 25,000 by 6 days. In a week, dude, like their profit, they could bring in 150,000. Times that by a month, they could bring in like 600,000 a month. A year? That's crazy. That's a lot of money, dude. 7.2 million a year. Damn. Right? And cuz think about it. Look what I just said. How much do wind turbine loads pay? Oh no, I got to connect to the internet. I'm trying to run these numbers down to you, and I played that video by Tommy on Trucking Unfiltered just so you guys get some perspective. You guys think LTL is good money with your Class A CDL? You're just scraping the surface, right? That's not that much money. It's good money on the company driver side, but look at these numbers. Look, you could type this in. You could go on Google and put in how much do oversized wind turbine loads pay per load. The cost to transport a wind turbine depends on several factors, including the distance of the shipment, the size of the turbine, and the type of transport required. Short-haul shipments typically cost between $30,000 and $40,000 per turbine. It's short haul. Short haul. God damn, dude. That's a lot of money right there on short haul, too. Jesus Christ. Short haul. Short haul. Say short haul is from San Bernardino to Mojave, or San Bernardino to Lancaster. That's short haul, right? No drama or BS doing line haul. Dude, but no, I'm just trying to put this into your guys' head, right? Someone on the replay is going to hear me out, because I don't think you guys are hearing me out, right? So let's say you're getting paid $35,000 to do a short haul from on an oversized wind turbine, and say you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 in the back, 1 in the front, 2 on the side, 4. 35,000 to go from San Bernardino to Palmdale, Lancaster, right? That's a short haul, and you're moving a wind turbine, right? On your oversized load, and you're the owner operator. 35,000. Let's say on a short haul like that, you pay the escorts. On a short haul, dude, you could easily pay them what? You probably pay them 10 grand, right? 25,000. Let's say you cut that in half for business expenses and taxes. You still made 12,500 in one night. Okay? And on a short haul like that, from San Bernardino to Lancaster, hook a set 15 minutes. Say you did an oversized load, a wind turbine or some other farm equipment or something heavy, right? And dude, you still made just on that one load on profit, just going there on the head haul. That's $12,500 that you made in profit after your business expenses, dude. That is nuts, bro. That is fucking crazy. That's after fuel, taxes, maintenance, business costs, all that. Your profit is still around 12 grand, 10 grand in one night, though. People make that in a week. You made that in a night as an oversized owner operator, right? That is nuts, dude. That's fucking crazy. And I know you guys think this is all just bullshit jargon, but there's people out there doing that. There's people out there that have their own trucks that are doing oversized loads that are owner operators and that are making a killing, dude, that are living fat. There's people that are doing that. I just wanted to, that have a CDL. They have the same license that you have. The only difference is they're taking it up to another level. You know what I'm saying? You guys can do it. You guys can do it. If you guys just looked up, what do I need to become a oversized owner operator? You already have half of the battle. You already have your CDL. You already have all your work experience, right? You probably work under an owner operator, learning the route, learning the business as a 1099 driver for an oversized carrier. Dude, you're still going to make good money, but once you become an owner operator, dude, on a short haul like that. Okay, and say they bring a backhaul, right? Say they bring a backhaul that's not even crazy like that. And say on the backhaul they profit, let's say they profit $2,500 coming back on the backhaul because they're still operating heavy shit, right? And they're getting direct customer freight. $15,000 a night times 6 days a week. 90 grand a week, dude, as an owner operator, as a heavy haul, oversized owner operator, doing short haul, just from like San Bernardino up to Lancaster or up to Bakersfield, right? Now let's multiply that. You're making $360,000 a month as a heavy haul, oversized owner operator. Yeah, that's 4.3 million a year. I just wanted to put that out there. I just wanted to put it in perspective, since the show right here is about being an owner operator. Being a company driver is cool and all that, but the big money is being an owner operator, right? That's when you go from that's how you could easily get rich off of just your job, off of just your work as a truck driver. And with that being said, be sure to smash the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. It's getting late. I'm tired. I got to go to bed. I got work tomorrow. Not tomorrow in the day, but tomorrow night. So I got to get some sleep. Peace out. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Let me read these last few comments. I just got on at Pepsi. I work 10-hour shifts. It's $28 an hour. That's good. Hooking sets. That's cool. Think about it, guys. You guys want to become owner operators, right now is the time to do it. You buy equipment, it's really cheap right now. Your CDL, it could take you really far. Don't sell yourself short. Peace out.